Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel and welcome to another edition of HCW Show Squared, the show with the usual format or formula of the now defunct HCW Show podcast, and it's powered to the power of, you guessed it, 2. I'm hosting as always, Dan, DP, or as we all say around the world nowadays, DPZ, yeah. And I'm of course joined by the usual co-host nowadays. I am joined by the man who didn't want to do this in the first place, but he's here. It's Mr. Impact Ray!
You know me, it's that M-I-C, Craig, aka Mr. Impact. And yes, busy week, in a good way, but waking up at 4 a.m. today and expecting a phone call I don't want to take, it's going to be a day. But we move, it's time, I'm excited to talk some NXT, kind of like this week's episode, so can't wait to actually talk about it.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a very. We're going to try and like cut this one down, compress it, more like the express version this week because we both have things to do. Like the day of recording, it's my birthday, and I've got so much shit planned, and well, not my planning, but so much shit that I've got to actually be at.
Well, happy birthday.
Thank you. I feel old already. No, so yeah, let's just get into things. This is for NXT, the 25th of June edition. Things kick off outside in the parking lot with Ava and multiple staff members, like security guards and stuff like that. She talks about the increasing presence of issues going on within NXT, and she wants to make sure that there are no more issues on this show. What could that mean? So we go after that straight into the first match of the night, which was the Tag Team Turmoil. The winners getting a tag title shot at Nathan Frazier and Axiom at Heatwave. So we had Idris Enofe and Malik Blade, the new Catch Republic, Angel and Berto, Gallows and Anderson, and Chase U, Andre Chase and Duke Hudson. The way it worked, it was sort of like a tag gauntlet. So you start with two teams. Every time someone lost, another team would come in. So the teams start off with Idris Enofe, Malik Blade, and the NCR, the New Republic. The Republic win with hitting a tag finisher on Idris. I don't know what they call it. It's that weird like double, like flapjack bomb.
Yeah, it's a weird one. I think it looks like a double Simone drop, but like it's not dropping back. It's strange.
But then that eliminates Idris and Malik, which I was a little sad about. Then they move on to Angel and Berto. I didn't realise he was called just Berto now.
Not me.
Like, on commentary, they were still saying Humberto, but on the like entrance way, it said like Angel Berto.
These WWE names, man. Getting out of hand.
Yeah. Then the Republic win again with a Tire Driver 97 on Berto. Out come the Good Brothers, the OC. They probably get the closest to eliminating the Republic without actually doing it. So the NCR win again when a Magic Killer is prevented and Pete Dunne rolls up Gallows. Thankfully though, most of this was an ad break, so you didn't see most of the OC here. I think OTM were somewhat involved in it because they were on the ramp afterwards. So I don't know if they were there during the ad break. Because this, for me, I didn't get a play-and-play adverts. I got just black screen for back. Which is kind of annoying because at least with play-and-play you can still see what's going on.
Yeah, I didn't believe it either. I just stood there.
And finally, after the OC eliminated, out come Chase U, Andre Chase and Duke Hudson. who actually eliminate the Republic with a Andre Chase top rope crossbody on Tyler Bate. And Chase U win the gauntlet and get a title shot. It should be noted as well that Ridge Holland was involved in this. Pete Dunne hits a springboard dive to the outside. Ridge pushes Andre out of the way and takes the hit. And that enables Andre to essentially hit the crossbody on Tyler for the win. I rated 2 of 3/4 stars. I get that it's basically a tag gauntlet, but maybe just call it that, firstly. Aesthetic is a big thing in wrestling, but it's a pretty way to open the show. It was just a very express version of multiple tag matches.
Yeah.
So you got Edge against NCR, NCR against Angel Berto, NCR against the OC, and then NCR against Chase U, which are all all sub 5 minutes. About that, I would prefer slightly longer matches, but because people like Edge and Malik could have had more chance to shine. Even the OC didn't get a chance to shine, and their main roster, like Tyler and Pete. It was just good to see as well that they didn't commit to the entire Iron Man run, because that's very common with these sort of matches. It's like, oh, the Iron Man's going to go the whole way and win the entire thing, and look at their determination and their grit. But it's also fun to see Chase U getting another win here with the help of Ridge again, because last time Ridge cheated to get Chase U a win, and this time he didn't cheat; he just got involved by saving Andre. And you know what? I'm glad Ridge is actually doing something and being proactively involved in something. And I think I count this stuff higher than what he did with Sheamus and now Pete Dunne, but Butch in the Brawling Brutes. What did you think?
I did like this match. It did feel like it was quite short, and over before it really got started. Felt like, because before we know it, Chase U were out, and these were the last 2 teams. I do like this style of match. I'm big into tag team wrestling. I think it can be very underrated in a lot of cases, but when it's done right, like everything in wrestling, when it's done right, it's great. I did think the NCR were gonna run the gauntlet, but I also liked how they played into it with Ridge saving Mr. Chase. Thought, yeah, I think I can get behind this with a bit more Ridge than I have in the past, because it's not something different that we haven't seen before in wrestling, because we've seen everything in wrestling by now, but it adds a new interesting dynamic to what Chase U are doing. It doesn't really buy into their way of things, but Ridge always wanted to prove himself and just get a win at any cost type thing. I like it. It suits Ridge, and as I said, it makes for an interesting dynamic when it comes to the Chase U and how they run things, and how it play out intrigues me when it all comes out. Which I don't know when, but I've just got this feeling of as said last week, a civil war in Chase U. But I like the match. Glad Chase U won, although I did want the Good Brothers, but you know. But no, I think the right choice was made, and yeah, I'm excited for the tag team match at Heatwave.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just that aspect now of Rich Holland and like, what will he do to try and help Chase U? I remember after I saw him taking out Pete with the elbow. I looked up Ridge Holland metalwork elbow. Like I assumed he was like doing like some sort of Lex Luger thing where he had like I thought he might have had like metalwork implanted into his elbow or something.
the Logan Paul lucky punch thing.
Yeah, exactly. And then it turns out it's nothing like that whatsoever. But it's just he just took the brunt completely in his elbow.
Yeah. I wouldn't want Pete. I wouldn't want Tyler Bate flying at me.
Yeah, that's fair. Backstage, Carmen Petrovic is reviewing last week's footage of Lola Vice and Roxanne Perez. With others, I don't know who they were. I think one was Carly Bright. I can't really tell properly. When Roxanne barges into the room and gets in Carmen's face, saying she's beneath Roxanne's level. Cool. That's going to lead to something, I guess. Still backstage, Dante Chen offers to be in Nathan Frazier's corner for the Heritage Cup match coming up later, which Nathan responds with a remark that he's not supposed to talk to Axiom since last week, so he might need Dante after all. But, say his name, and he appears. In comes Axiom! Who's come around to the fact that Nathan is going after the Heritage Cup, and he's come to terms with the fact that Nathan could be a solo champion as well as part of the tag champions. He declares that Nathan will be a 2-time cup holder and that he'll be in Nathan's corner for the Heritage Cup match. So great for both of them to sort that out. I can't help but feel like it's going to backfire on them.
Yeah, just a touch.
So now we go back to in-ring, but not for a match. Ethan Page is here and he did a chat. He's not pleased that Javon Evans is the number one contender for Trick Williams when he won a Battle Royal that Ethan wasn't actually eliminated from, which is a valid point.
Yes.
He also mentions that he beat Javon Evans, which is a valid point. Ethan wants Ava to change the main event of Heatwave, which is a fair point. And requests Ava to come out to the ring to sort this. So out comes Ava. I still find it very weird nowadays that a GM has got their own theme music.
Yeah, and it's quite generic though. Like if you saw the screen, you would know.
It's like back in the day, obviously, you know, like Teddy Long and Eric Bischoff, who had their own music, you know. But nowadays, Nick Aldis got his own music on SmackDown. Even Adam Pearce on Raw.
Santino Mora's got his, and Scott D'Amore had his. And he was. Scott D'Amore was the president, so, you know, it makes a bit of sense.
So out comes Ava. Ava doesn't get a chance to speak really, but says that Ethan has a point, and alludes to the fact that Ethan also pinned Javon. She mentions that as well. But here comes Sean Spears. Sean cuts her off and mentions that Ethan's following in his footsteps. So much so that he's even copying the people that Sean beat, including Javon Evans 2 weeks ago, which I completely forgot about. Sean makes a promise that he'll pin Trick Williams tonight, and that will make Ava's job a lot easier to take Trick out of the match and get a non-title threat.
Okay.
But before he can finish, out comes Trick Williams. Trick doesn't care who he's fighting at Heatwave. He'll fight both Ethan and Sean if he has to, and he goes to whoop that Trick, but he's taken out by Sean Spears. Both Sean and Ethan gang up on Trick, but out comes Javon Evans for the save and the ring clearance. So it seems we're getting a tag match in the future.
I wonder where this is heading.
Yeah, it's not at all that you can foresee it happening whatsoever.
No, I mean the logic they have to apply here. You know, you've got a championship, a champion, and 3 people who think they have a right to challenge for it. I wonder how you go about booking that.
Yeah, but as we're a few weeks out from said match, you've got 2 heels and 2 faces. Where's that gonna lead?
Maybe we get a can they coexist match.
Mate, you never know. Trick Williams and Sean Spears against Ethan Page and Javon Evans.
Can you imagine?
I would honestly welcome that. Like, just switch it up for a little bit. Like,
Yeah,
just be like,
so
you know what? Screw your tag team. Screw your friendship. I'm gonna put you with this guy instead.
yeah, Mr. Stone did mix up the women's tag match a couple weeks ago, so maybe.
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah. So what we're getting, you know, I think we already know the pay-per-view match. I mean, they can confirm it later on, but
Yeah, it's on the socials, like it's official.
yeah. Backstage, Rich Holland is approached by Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne. Pete admonishes Ridge for getting involved, questioning his decision to join Chase U when Ridge was supposed to be on his own. Again, it's a valid point. Ridge spent all his time on his self-redemption path. He was like, "Oh, I'm the guy that injures people. I need to get that off my name." And
And just decides to sign up to university instead.
yeah, exactly. You know, it's never too late to have an education.
This is true.
But never mind all that, because whereas Ridge leaves, in comes Hank and Tank.
The boys.
Tank Ledger, Hank Walker, one of the best tag teams in WWE. They challenge the New Japan Republic to a match next week, which is accepted. Hank and Tank are going to get that big time win.
Do it. Yes, do it. All go for it. Let's go.
We're still backstage. In the GM's office, Stevie Turner and Robert Stone seem to be getting a kiss-ass off. Both are comparing the various things that they've done for Ava, to help Ava. Not sure what's going on here, but cool, I guess.
I'm liking it. It's silly.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of silly. Let's see how this goes. I've got a feeling they might do a match between Mr. Stone and
Stevie Turner.
Steve Turner. You just said it's gone. Yeah, they might do a match, and I'll be up for it. Robbie E plays that role very well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he really does.
Yeah, I'm all good with it. Let's do it.
Sometimes you forget that Robert Stone is a wrestler, like a fully trained wrestler.
A former X Division champion.
Yeah.
Like he and TV champion. He's and tag team champion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. One half formerly of the Bromans.
Bro, man, bro. I've got a bromance T-shirt. I need to put on this morning. Love the bromance.
Mm-hmm.
With that young DJ.
That whole thing was so annoying, but so good.
DJ Z.
But no, we move on now to Joe Coffey and Wes Lee. A match that has had no real build other than Joe Coffey been attacking Wes Lee. And now it's happening because Oba was like, yeah, do it.
Oba can book matches now, apparently.
Yeah. So Wes wins with a cardiac kick. I rated it 1.5 star, 1.5 stars. It was a surprisingly short match, especially for the names involved in this. But the idea that the cardiac kick can come from anywhere now and not as a setup, adds to the Wes's arsenal. Like he can just be running with the ropes and then hit it. Like it's not like like when Ospreay does the whole thing, and then he'll like do the Oscar or something. Like there's no setup for it. It's just I'm gonna run it now and do it. Like even like Jay Lethal did the whole like thing for the lethal injection. Like with Wesley's move here, it's just I'm gonna run to the ropes and do it.
Yeah.
But
Great looking move as well.
Yeah, it really is. I'm not sure about the effectiveness of it from a realism standpoint. But yeah, it looks decent.
I missed the final flash. It's spinning like it's basically the Black Arrow, but you call it the final flash, and I was obsessed with that move for such a long time when he was in TNA. I loved it, and it just faded out in WWE.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm not sure. So post match, firstly, Oba makes an appearance to basically just say that he'll be seeing Wes at Heatwave from the infamous NXT balcony in the corner of the arena that they're in. I'm not sure that Wes will get what he wants out of this match with Oba Femi. The more time goes on, the more I just see Wesley getting ragdolled, like, by Femi. I don't really see. I mean, I can see the book. I can see a world where Wes does win, but most of me is just seeing Femi throwing him around and then pinning him.
Yeah. I really hope Wes wins, but like I said, I don't see it that much either. But one thing I did pick up on after the match before Oba popped up, we got a little rascal hello.
Yeah.
Which he hasn't done that since he's been in NXT. We've had it once, maybe twice, but it hasn't been for a while. And I don't know if they'd do it. I really want them to. Like, especially with Gallus still sniffing about.
Yeah, exactly. Like, Wes going to need some sort of backup. Okay,
Yeah.
M3, so.
But as far as that match went, fine. Nothing to write home about. It was nothing unexpected really happened, and then Oba popping up.
I think I was more surprised that it was Wesley and Joe Coffey and only went about 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Like,
madness.
To me, both of them are big enough names to have a longer match.
Yeah, for sure. Like for it to be that quick, like, confused me.
Once upon a time, that would have been a main event on TV.
Yeah, and maybe should have been this week, but
we'll see. Where were we? Here we go. So backstage, in an interview, Tony D'Angelo is not really taking Nathan Frazier seriously. His game plan for Nathan is to slow Nathan down and punch him in the mouth. The one thing he's sure of is that he'll be retaining the Heritage Cup. Moving on to something much more interesting backstage, Duke Hudson is with Rich Holland, and some pictures are delivered to Duke. Presumably from the match last week. But Ridge takes him and then hides him behind his back as Chase U come in and celebrate the win. So there's layers to this. Like Ridge, like Duke's having doubts about what happened last week, and Ridge doesn't want him to think about it. Don't look into it, Duke, because you'll get hurt from what you see. Like, just don't look into it. It was fine. You won clean. Believe me.
This really intrigues me. Let's go.
Exactly. Like, I'm beginning to get invested in what Ridge is doing.
Yeah.
And that's probably the only time I'll probably ever say that about Rich Holland.
Yeah, I mean, I started to when he first came into NXT because he had a good look, but they rushed into the main roster and then put him in a group, and then it just didn't
Oh, you
land
mean
all well. But
the
now,
bloody Peaky Blinders look he had?
yeah,
With the
it,
weird like truncheon thing and the flat cap and the big jacket, like.
yeah, yeah,
uh,
it, yeah, yeah. But let's see what happens here because looking
yeah.
good so far.
I find it quite interesting that Ridge Holland debuted in NXT during the Black and Gold era,
Yeah,
and obviously now it's changed so much
yeah.
from what it was. But
Gonna take a while.
yeah. So the next match of the night is the NXT Heritage Cup. Holder Tony D'Angelo against Nathan Frazier. Round 1 ends in 40 seconds as Nathan makes it 1-0 with a speedy roll up pin. Round 2 sees D'Angelo take it more seriously and he's more pissed off and takes out Nathan with a spinebuster to make it 1-1. And I'm thinking at this point, they're not going to make this one of the shortest ones ever. Like, end in the third round. Like, round 3 is an ad break. Literally,
So I
they're
did.
fighting, it cuts off, and then boom, it's round 4.
So I didn't miss an entire round. Good to know. Well, I did, but not
Yeah.
through my own fault.
No, you missed about maybe half of a round because it was like they started round 3, and then it was like they fought until about a minute in, and then suddenly black screen.
Think it through, people.
I just don't have it I don't know, during an entrance or something. Like, don't.
Yes,
Or
you're
just
on
don't
your
do them
own
at all.
network in the UK. Just you haven't got to go to an outbreak. TNA don't.
Weird. Uh, Round 4 ends in a stalemate as Nathan hits a missile drop kick from the top rope and both men are down when the timer goes. Round 5 ends in another stalemate as Nathan hits a Phoenix Splash, but not with enough time to pin Tony. Round 6 then ends with Tony delivering an avalanche base suplex and spinebuster for the 3 count. 2-1 Tony. Tony wins and retains. I rated this 3.5 stars. As I said before on the podcast, I adore these matches. I love the British round style. Uh, it's just something different from the rest of the scene. And while I haven't been the biggest advocate for Tony D'Angelo with the trophy, this was a really good match, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And part of that reason is because of Tony D'Angelo. The clash of styles here blended amazingly with Nathan's breakneck speed, also mixed with Tony's hard hitting strength. The suspenseful moments at the end of the rounds help build the atmosphere of the match too. But overall, I really enjoyed it, and this is one of the more stronger matches for the Heritage Cup.
Agreed. I loved this match. I thought, yeah, Styles makes fights, and these two Styles made an incredible fight. Right. The I do like it when they build the drama of like, it's 5 seconds left. They hit a big move, but they don't quite get the pin in time, and but then they got to go to the corners and like it. I rated it a lot more than I thought I was going to. But I'm liking Tony D stuff. I mean, now looking back on it, maybe he should have been the one to win the NXT title. But I'm glad he's got something, and it's working for him. He's doing great things with it. Like just like obviously the whole setting the match up, leading from being eliminated from the Battle Royal. You know, it it makes it really good to watch because one, the Heritage Cup is like incredible looking. Two, the the round style brings something different into mainstream wrestling. Although TNA did try it for a little bit with the Grand Championship, but they just let it fall to the wayside with it. And third, when you can put on when it's match qualities like that for TV, yeah, I'm good with it, and I can't wait to see where this goes with Tony's run. Because so far I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I can't really think of anything more to add to that, really. Just thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah,
and like I said, for me, it's one of the better matches for the Heritage Cup over the history of the Cup.
that's fair.
We go backstage. Javon Evans is here, and he wants to help Trick out with his match later on. Warning him to look out for Ethan Page and Sean Spears, but Trick wants Javon to worry on only the upcoming Heatwave match. So tells Javon to, he can handle it on his own, which Javon respects. Cool. Back to the ring. It's Roxanne Perez against Carmen Petrovic. Who saw this coming? Lola Vice joins commentary on this one, but Roxanne wins with the Pop Rocks. I rated it 1.5 stars. Again, short match, and that's the main reason why I give these low ratings. It was fine, but also kind of just a squash for Roxanne, which is understandable given the pecking order of NXT. But Carmen still has some way to go before she's ready for a big time kind of role within NXT, but she'll get there. Meanwhile, the match allowed Roxanne to showcase why she's champ and why she's a force within the division. And also, it just helped because Roxanne needed this. Because she's been so involved in other things that you kind of would almost forget that she needs to have singles matches to showcase what she can do by herself.
Yeah.
But yeah, I rated 1.5 stars. Overall, it was good stuff.
Yeah.
And it was good, but it was also necessary.
Yeah. Like a short match, but it didn't need to be anything more. Like there was a point to this, and they made that point well. Given what they had, given the time they had, and what they needed to do, yeah, they did it well. And Carmen is definitely one to watch. And the fact that they allow wrestlers to come to the ring with weapons, like that, not just any weapon that can kill, like made to kill, it still blows my mind. You've got big ass sword on WWE, and you've got what? Come on.
I mean, don't forget, Drew McIntyre had a big ass sword.
Yeah.
They literally used to cut a ring rope at one point.
Yeah. And took it out just after a thunderstorm and lightning. Took it outside as well.
So that's like He-Man just holds it up in the air, like hit the lightning. And
Yeah.
But no. Post match, Lola gets in the ring, and Roxanne is backing off before trying to hit her again. But this time Lola catches her and hits her with the 305, which is a spinning back fist, which completely lays out Roxanne, and she takes the NXT Women's Championship.
So good.
At this point,
Simple.
At this point, I'm just like, can we just make that official? Is that a title change?
Yeah. Sparks her out and takes the title.
Mm-hmm. It's
right.
Legitimately, I've been a fan of Lola Vice for so long, and it's great to see her in this role. Like, I know she'll probably lose to Roxanne at Heatwave, but I want her to win.
Yeah. I'm very over with the crowd as well.
Mm-hmm. For good reason as well. She's the future of women's wrestling. Backstage, Noam Dar is here on a video call, so you know this is already going to be good, to the rest of Metaphor. He reveals that he suffered a torn tendon in his leg when Ethan Page attacked him, so unfortunately because of that he'll be out for a while. Which means that Oro will deal with most of what they've got to do by himself. But Noam's saying that Oro is his main man, which then causes Oro to break out into a recounting of his childhood. Almost losing his father to a fire from which now he's severely burnt. Now he and his brother were put into foster care when he was a child. He talks about how he never fit in, but with Metaphor he feels like he's part of the family. And this is the reason why he gives as to why he'll do anything to pay back Ethan for what he did to Noam, for essentially hurting his brother. I was expecting comedy for this, and then it dropped to seriousness, and I was like, you know what? This is the most fleshed out I've seen Oro meant to be, and I'm here for it. You know, if this is him building up the reason as to why he's close with Metaphor, and ultimately building to what I think will be a Noam Dar turn on Oro.
Okay.
I think Metaphor's run its course. It's fantastic, but I think it's run its course. Like, I feel like Ethan Page didn't actually attack him, and I think he's faking an injury. Obviously, it's a real injury, whatever, but, like, get well.
Yeah.
No, but, like, storyline-wise, I don't think Ethan attacked him. I think he's just using that as an excuse to be away from Metaphor while he plans his next stage.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Not.
Because initially I did have it being him joining Gallus, because they're all Scottish. But then, again, that's very WWE to, you know, hey, you're Scottish, right? You join the Scottish stuff.
Yeah.
But no, I don't know, part of me getting that feeling is now they've got to flesh out Oro, because if he was just the backup guy to Noam, they wouldn't be needing to flesh him out. I think they've got plans to build Oro up.
Hey you. Yeah, you. Do you like this video? There is a button. It's a very sexy button. It says subscribe on it. I wish I could click on it, but YouTube won't let me. Damn fuckers.
That's a valid point. I wouldn't mind seeing how that played out. If that's the direction they're heading in, then let's see what they do. But I like Metaphor, and it definitely took a very serious turn.
Yeah, because it's like, I think Metaphor has run its course, because the only point now you can get to is all four holding the title, which in this case would be Noam holding the world title, Oro holding the North American title, Lash holding the women's title, and Jakar holding the women's North American title. Two of which are not ready for titles yet. You could argue three, really. Like, Oro's not ready for a title, and neither's Jakara. Like, Lash, you could make a case for, but really, the only one ready is Noam.
See, I'd say Lash is more North American title level at the minute.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I was just saying, in the case of if all four were champions, then Lash would be the women's title. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be the dynamic. Yeah, but I'm intrigued if that's where you think they're heading.
Yeah, it's just something that I'm getting a feeling of. I could be completely off the mark, and then just, we're back, Metaphor, like, yeah. But like, I don't know. Part of me just thinking that might be different.
Fair. Very fair.
So we move on. The commentary are about to continue the show, but there's been an incident backstage which is revealed to be the OC, who have taken out OTM, Lucian Price and Bronco Nemo, in the corridors of NXT. Jada Parker attempts to get in their faces, but in comes Mishin to deal with her, and the chaos continues into a black screen.
Definitely getting a 6-person tag at Heatwave, aren't we?
Probably. Backstage, in the GM's office, Ava is stressing about the OTM's condition. She also then informs Carly Bright, with her friend, who I can't remember her name, that she's got a match with Wendy Chu next week. Then, in comes Lola Vice, who delivers the women's title to Ava, informing Ava that she wants a title shot at Heatwave. Cool.
Excellent.
Up next is a match, and this is one of the most bizarre matches I've ever seen. Tavian Heights against Damon Kemp, where if Tavian wins, he'll be in the NQCC, when he already said last week that he wanted to be part of the NQCC. So Tavian, believe it or not, wins with the running base suplex. I rate this 1 3/4 stars. Again, just a short match, which is the reason for the rating. But the whole premise of the match was ridiculous anyway. It's very amusing to see both Chai Dempsey and Miles Bourne collectively cheering every time Damon was on the receiving end of Tavian's hits.
Yeah.
And then when Tavian won, you just saw Chai Dempsey just jump in the air. And yeah, my associate lost. Yeah. Did they get in the ring to celebrate with Tavian, which made it also farcical, but in the best way. I completely love this. I love what they do with Charlie. I love that Miles is now on board. Miles is now on board. And Tavian, I think, would be a good addition to the NQCC, because their previous 4th wasn't a good wrestler, just not maybe a great person.
Yeah, I like that they found a way to get a 4th person in the group again. I like Tavian. Like, he's a big boy, but he can go. And there's a lot of power in that, and I'm happy with how it's going with Charlie. I think gives him something different other than him being just just being the pure wrestling guy, just being son of a Regal. It's see how it plays out, especially with the little interaction after the match between Charlie and Damon. Sorry.
Yeah, absolutely. It seems that Damon wasn't too pleased. Firstly, with losing, but also because of him seeing Charlie and Miles celebrate Damon's loss.
Yeah, the way they were all reacted.
Yeah. I'd be curious to see what happens. I mean, if it's NXT, I'm assuming Damon we'll just get over it, and it'll be the 4 of them. Woo!
Yeah. It's again not mad at this.
Speaking backstage, there's an interview with Kalani Jordan, because no one can do it like Lani. Kalani wants to be a fighting champion, but also a drama-free one. So she welcomes Ariana's sneaking into a title opportunity attempt. Welcomes either Sol, Ruka, or Ariana Grace as her next challenger. Before rings wrap up, in comes Jada Parker, who holds the camera hostage. She calls out Mishin and challenges her to a street fight next week. We maintain backstage. It's Edris and Malik, who are here with Brindley Reese, who encourages them despite their loss earlier. However, in comes Izzy Dame, who mocks them and mocks Brindley for her behaviour, and also slaps her hand on the glass window next to them, which you can see Tina Paxley through the window. Just sort of sneaking. So not sure what's going on there, but there's something going on.
Yeah, especially the little look afterwards. Oh, yeah. I wonder if we're getting a turn in some luck.
You mean Brynn Reese wins the Women's North American Championship?
Honestly, this point wouldn't surprise me.
But no. Backstage, Axiom commends Nathan Frazier for a job well done, mentioning that he was so close to beating Tony D'Angelo. However, he also wants to now focus on keeping the tag belts, so he wants to prepare for the upcoming tag match. And Nathan says, "I'm down, but let me do my match on speed first." So, you know, the 3-minute Twitter matches.
Which have already been recorded. Yeah. Sure.
So as soon as he does the speed match, he'll be down to train and prep for the titles match. Axiom is not too pleased to hear this. So you see that there's some trouble in paradise here.
I am liking this, you know. They took it in a direction I didn't see coming, because they're put together for the Dusty Classic, went on to win the tag titles, still don't have a tag team name, but like it feels like Nathan might be showing his true colours a little bit, of sort of showing his aspirations at least. Yeah, I'd like to see Nathan get to a title match for the speed title, just to add a little bit more to it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think while they're pre-recorded, you can always play into it still, and because that's just how TV works. And yeah, I'm enjoying this too. It's not something that I saw coming for them, but it kind of makes sense when you look at when you look at the reign, that they've mostly been getting away with like flash wins, like very sort of roll up last minute sort of thing. Like they're not a dominant tag team by any stretch, because just how they wrestle and their size in general compared to most other teams. But yeah, I'm down for whatever this leads to, and it puts more doubt as well that Chase U might actually win tag titles because of Ridge as well.
I'm good.
Moving on, we have an NXT Women's North American title match. Title shot match. Ariana Grace and Sol Ruka. Sol wins with a Soul Snatcher. I rate this 1 3/4 stars. This is okay. I mean, you almost need to have an official number 1 contendership match being earned rather than just handing out one. It was almost a requirement, because it would have been equivalent for Kalani to just hand out title shots.
Yeah.
To her, especially to her friend as well, and Sol Ruka. It just sets a bad precedent, in my opinion, for a champion. Sol winning the match was almost mandatory with how Ariana had been booked, but I wouldn't have minded seeing Ariana win here. But again, you know, saying that Ariana winning would have made Sol look weaker, just because of the levels they're both at.
Yeah, but just from Ariana's entrance alone, like it made me laugh a little bit because of how entertaining it just her entrance is. Like, and although I like Sol's finishing move, I'm still not 100% sold on it.
No, and it doesn't help that they sort of struggled to get to it.
Yeah.
Because it just became obvious what they were doing, and I think Sol needs to cut the corner from her move. Like, if you do it on the ropes in open play, then fair enough. But the corner is too. You have to be in that position to take it.
Yeah. Like,
And,
you know what's happening.
yeah. At least if it's like the ring ropes, you can stand at the center and she comes from the side, and does it that way. Like, you can't do that in the corner.
No. Yeah. And no, she slipped like more than once as well. Don't know what happened there, but
Yeah, I mean
like,
that is the nature of pro wrestling, though. You know, it does happen.
yeah. It just felt like she had to have a second go at it to get it, and it's like then they're not her fault, but it takes away from the move a little bit when you know she's already tried for it and it didn't land, so she had to do it again. Like it just felt a bit awkward watching it.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's just I think Sol was always a guarantee to win this anyway, so it was just a matter of getting from point A to point B.
Like, for me, when it comes to stuff like that, especially when it comes to trying to close on someone over the top rope, they don't go first time. Don't try it again.
Yeah.
Like just like it's just nothing like that. Just. But again, not her fault, but it just felt a little bit like
it just
like Ariana maybe got out of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Ariana could have got out of the way in time.
Yeah. I want to see someone do like the Samoa Joe, you know, like the walk away sort of thing, like.
Yeah.
I want Sol to go for it, and someone just walks away out of it.
Well, Hook's doing it now.
There you go. Yeah, it's carried on from father to son. Backstage, Roxanne storms into Ava's office, taking her title back, and accusing her of organising all that's happening to Roxanne. Ava denies it, and as a result of being accused, she confirms that at Heatwave, it will be Roxanne and Lola for the women's title.
And that she does enjoy it.
Yeah, she does.
So much fun for her.
So yeah, Roxanne is confirmed for Heatwave, and I'm down in all ways for that match.
Yeah. Do it. Let's do it.
Backstage still, Kalani and Sol talk about their upcoming match for the North American title at Heatwave, but coming in behind them as they leave the scene is Jessie Jane and Jasmine Nix, who are then joined by Fallon Henley, and they collectively complain about not getting their shots and opportunities that they feel that they deserve because they've been there longer. And Jasmine Nix.
Let's stay quiet on that one.
Yeah, it's like you got JC and Fallon just talking about how long they've been there and not getting the opportunities they deserve, and then just Jasmine's like, "Yeah, I've been here as long." Oh. But no, it's good. I think they're gonna try and align JC and Fallon because their goals seem to match.
Yeah, the enemy of my enemy is my friend type thing.
Yeah, precisely. But it's also just because both of them feel like they've been screwed over by management.
Yeah.
So who knows?
See what happens.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Now we move on to our main event. Shawn Spears, Trick Williams, non-title. Shawn Spears wins with a C4 into the corner, the Death driver. I rated it 3 stars. It was actually given a bit of time, which makes a change from the last few matches on the show. But it actually had some life to it. The ending was a little confusing as we had interference on Ethan Page from Orenza again, but also interference from a hooded figure that's quite clearly Brooks Jensen, but never referred to as Brooks Jensen and just treated like a random fan The random fan uses a removed announce table cover to knock out Trick on his feet, which then enables Sean to hit him with C4 in the ring.
Yeah.
I was caught off guard just because I assumed it would be a DQ finish or something like that, but not Trick actually getting pinned. It's a very interesting call to make Sean a viable threat, and one I'm definitely on board with because I'm just not a fan of Trick Williams. But seeing him get pinned was interesting, very interesting.
Yeah. It really surprised me. The point where I went, oh, okay, that's what we're doing. But now surely they have to reference what Brooks has been doing. Surely now they have to.
I mean,
Like,
this is
his
it's definitely the most on screen he's been, like during this whole
Yeah.
thing.
Like his actions directly impacted the NXT World Title match.
Yeah.
Like they have to mention that now because surely Trick will be pissed off.
You think so? Yeah.
Because of what he did. Like now he's got a fatal 4-way on his hands for his title.
Yeah.
But yeah, I enjoyed the match, but a big part of that was the interference from Brooks. I'm not thrilled about this fatal 4-way. Like I'm just not.
Yeah.
The only person I'm like can actually see legitimately having a chance is Ethan Page.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it's fair to rule out Javon Evans, and it's probably fair to rule out Sean Spears at this point. So I think, ironically, I think Javon is the pin eater here, if a heel wins.
Yeah.
And saying that, I would assume Trick pins Sean if Trick wins again.
Yeah, it's just this match doesn't do a lot for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe make an elimination thing, or just I don't know. I don't know what I need from it.
Add layers to it. Like don't have it be just a normal fatal 4-way. Like I just add an elimination to it, or make it no DQ or something. Like if it's no DQ, Brooks just can get involved again.
Well, it should be no DQ, shouldn't it? Because triple threat rules.
That's
no
right. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, 4-way would be. Yeah. So yeah, Brooks just can get involved again and cost Trick again.
Yeah, I don't know what I need from this match, but what's been presented so far isn't it?
Yeah, and it's kind of underwhelming.
Yeah.
It's
cool.
And it's not a knock on anyone else. It's not a knock on Javon or Sean or Ethan. It's just that it's not that interesting. And obviously, the match could be great, but the build up to it has been a little lackluster.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you've got a champion who hasn't necessarily had the most entertaining of runs. You've got Javon, who's only had 4 matches on NXT TV.
Something like that, yeah.
And has lost 2. And you've got Sean Spears, who was getting just like picking up wins, but didn't really feel like he was winning all that much. But even though he was, and there's not a lot of my interest levels aren't that high for this one. It's unfortunate.
It's valid. I mean, I think there was more hype when it was just Trick and Javon,
Yeah, there's more. Yeah, definitely more interesting. But it was just that one.
But then you added in Ethan, which makes sense because of the storyline there, and Sean makes sense now because he's beaten both Javon and Trick. So the reasoning's all there for it. It's just I don't know. I'm not
Yeah,
as thrilled for this because like I'm gonna compare this to the other Fatal Four where we had Ofemi, Dijak, and the others that I don't remember. Brooks Jensen and not Brooks Jensen. Josh Briggs, sorry, and the other one. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head.
yeah.
But I'm gonna compare it to that, and that it's probably gonna come nowhere near.
Nah, not even close.
Mm.
And again, you know, they tied it all together nicely. Like it's made it all fit together.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. See how it plays out. But at least because when it's just Javon, I thought, well, we know who's going to win this. It's cut and dry who's going to win this. At least when they added Ethan Page into it, it adds a little bit more of okay, so it could be one of these two.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
It's just a
wait and
little
see.
underwhelming, I guess.
Yeah.
But the final segment of the show came when we saw Ava's office again, with Stevie Turner and Robert Stone going over what should come of the result just passed. Stevie and Stone can't agree, so Ava sets the record straight and makes the title track Heatwave and confirms it to be a fatal four-way. Which we've already spoken about. So, with that in mind, that does bring an end to this review and to this episode of Show Squared. We will look at other things in the future, perhaps like maybe like news stories related to NXT, or like last week we might do the ratings review. It's just this time we can't. There's not enough time to do it this week. Because I've got to be places, Craig's got to be places as well. It's just today's more an express version because we just had some different things to do. But again, with that in mind, that does bring an end to this review. Please give Craig a follow on his Twitter, which is just underneath his camera there. If you feel so inclined, please give me a follow on my Twitter. I don't post much on it, but I mean, I repost stuff on the HCW one, so yeah. Mine is just there underneath my camera. We have our show outlets as well, which is our Instagram, our Facebook, our Twitter or X, and our Twitch, which we're currently live on right now. And in regards to the video itself, please like, share, subscribe, comment, all the good stuff. It's all free, and everything that you do helps with our engagement, helps with our interaction as we keep building our way up. And I believe that is everything. So, once again, I thank you for watching, and I thank Craig for joining. See you.